go, Commander.
More oars!
The rowers need time to rest.
Oars down! Archers! Take your marks! Archers! Forward! Archers!
Steady your aim!
More speed! Here we go! Archers to the front! Attack! I need archers! Now! Archers! Ready yourselves! Get them!
Wait until they are in range! That really caused some damage!
Arrows!
Position! That was a bad hit!
Ready to shoot! Raise! We're at full speed! Archers, we need you! Release now! Arrows at the ready! Slowly! Ready your bows! Reduce speed! Increase speed!
Look there! Salvage!
Onward!
Break, Commander!
Archers! Ready! Loose!
Salvage nearby!
Head for open water! We're at maximum speed! More speed! Ship your oars! Rowers, do your... Quiet tonight, Varnavas.
Sorry. Years ago, on a bright night like this one, my old friend Karos and I were sailing to Samos when we heard our names being sung out in the middle of the darkness. The song was so sweet, we forgot how to sail.
Don't tell me. You saw the sirens.
I covered my ears to drown out their chants. But when I went to warn Karos, he was gone. I never saw him again.
Sorry.
When the sea calls, you never know where it will lead you. Karos might be king of some faraway land by now. You never know.
This is a nice ship.
You don't have to do that.
Do what?
Fill the silence.
Oh, I wasn't trying to do that at all. I simply don't find myself traveling the seas very often.
It can be freeing.
Yes, freeing seems to be an accurate word.
Lean over the side if you need to. Otherwise, you're cleaning it up.
Is your stomach turning as much as mine is?
You'll get used to it. We'll reach Serifos before long. Ready for docking!
It's good to see you alive and well, Phidias.
And you, Theras. As you can see, I didn't get here alone.
Ah, yes. The kind and thoughtful hero you mentioned in your letter.
I'm glad I could get him out alive.
And for that heroism, I found some information on a man named Brisson who's plotting Phidias' early demise. Hopefully you can make something of this clue.
I can.
Please give Pericles my thanks and my farewell. And be careful. I still believe many in Athens are in danger.
I'll see you all at the selection ceremony, ladies. I especially hope you show up.
Let me guess. He's rich.
That's Etios, the scion of the most influential family in Chaos. And his wife-choosing ceremony is tomorrow. We need Eros' blessings to be picked.
You hope to marry into riches.
No! My feelings are for Etios, not his wealth.
Even if your feelings for him are real, they get stronger with Drachmi.
No! I really am in love with him.
You better start praying like the rest of them.
No, I have to stand out. If I do what everyone else is doing, I'll never be picked by Eros or Etios. I need to do something. Anything. Anything? Yes, anything. Eros? Please, his ears are stuffed full with the prattling of these women. Let me help. I'm a witch of Hecate, goddess of witchcraft and magic. I know just the thing. A love potion.
Ridiculous. Love potions are a myth.
I'll buy it from you, please. Sell it to me, and don't let the others hear you. I don't need your drachmi. I spread the word of Hecate freely. But a love potion is tailored to the imbiber. I have to make one. Just for you. And once you've drained every last drop of it down your pretty throat, you will exude pure, irresistible beauty. Aetios will fall in love with you instantly. First, we'll need two things. A cask of the finest wine and some wild mushrooms. But where can I find that at such short notice? I'm sure the Mystios could procure these items for you. Please, Mystios. Please, you've got to help me. In the name of love and a lot of drachmi. Well, I'll give you all I've got. If Etios picks me, I'll be sure to give you even more.
Fine. I'll get the ingredients for your love potion. The finest wine? Isn't much to go on. How will I get it?
A shipment of expensive wine was lost in a shipwreck recently. Look around the wreckage in Pirate Bay, and you'll find a cask or two. If it hasn't already been pillaged by pirates. It's beached on the west coast of the island.
Where will I find wild mushrooms?
No. A new shipment of very special mushrooms has arrived at the customs warehouse. Fetch me some of those.
That's all. I'll see to the items.
Excellent. Meet us at the temple on the hilltop when you're done.
That's the shipwreck with the wine. Hope the pirates haven't gotten here yet. That's the warehouse. The wild mushrooms will be in there somewhere. That must be the shipwreck she was talking about.
Just pinch me.
They'll be watching for me. I need to be careful.
Time to die!
I've got it now!
I'll catch you! I'm spotted here!
This is all the wine left. The looters stripped the shipwreck clean. The customs warehouse. Better get looking for those mushrooms.
Plans for these mushrooms that just came. I heard they can be made into weapons or a poison. doing that?
You should be running!
Stand there and fight! Shit.
Wine and wild mushrooms. That's all of it. I should go to the girl and the witch at the temple. Another sleepless night over. Here's everything you asked for.
Thank you, Misthios. Now, I just need a more personal artifact. The last ingredient.
I've come this far. I'll see it through. What else do you need, witch?
No. What I need, the girl can provide.
I'll give you whatever you need to be with Etios.
We'll just need a little snip of your beautiful locks. Your part in this is done, Misthios. Come to the selection ceremony at Aetios' house to witness the fruits of your labor. It's the one overlooking the sea.
You've got to come. Once Etios picks me, I'll make sure to pay you your due.
I hope he has deep pockets. His love didn't come cheap.
Come. There's much left to do. See you at the ceremony, Misthios.
What?
Misthios, kill this snake. She did this to me. She made me bald.
I'm sorry, my love. Give me a moment. Some peasants need my attention.
You said a little bit of her hair. Explain this.
Explain? It's clear, beautiful, gullible, idiot girl falls prey to her competition.
She set me up. Ethios picked her instead. He didn't even take a second look at me.
Why would you do such a thing?
Aetios can be no one's but mine. I'm the one who truly loves him. I grew up with him. I've always been the one looking out for him. You think I'd let some starry-eyed fledgling after his wealth steal the love of my life from me? Aetios doesn't know what's good for him. He's been eyeing this one for a while now. He liked the way she looked, so I changed that.
What happened to the potion?
Why, she drank it. And look, it worked wonderfully.
She added a lock of my hair to the potion and then made me drink it. I didn't feel anything strange at the time, but when I did, all my hair, it just began to fall off.
What trickery is this? You used her hair in a spell?
A spell? Are you idiots? If only something so convenient existed. It's simple alchemy. With a little knowledge of poisonous local flora, anything is possible. And wild mushrooms are known to cause violent reactions. But honestly, I've never seen anyone go bald. Just a horrible rash at best. This went better than I expected.
I was promised Rakmi. Just give it to me. I didn't sign up for any of this drama.
Technically, the girl asked you for the items, not me.
She's making fools of us both. Kill her, Mystios.
You're crazy. You'll pay for this.
She played the game and she lost. There's nothing to pay for. You believe she's innocent in all this? She tried to get ahead with magic, so spare me the hypocrisy. Just leave and take your bald friend with you.
Please, Mystios, do something.
I'll cut through every last one of your guards to get to you.
Guards! Stop this Mystios!
Just go! Go away!
Oh, young Mystios. This must be a real... You know you... Give up on it. You can't take that.
Shit! Out! What's a little girl doing in a clay pit?
Oh, Misthios. Hi, Misthios. I'm just preparing something for my friends. I've been here all day, but I still need more clay. I need enough for all of them.
What you're doing for your friends is very nice. I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
Really? You think so? I was thinking of getting them some other things, though.
You're a generous friend. What do you want to give them?
I want to give them some nice jewelry.
You mean jewelry?
That's what I said.
You don't look like you can afford any. Honestly.
I know. That's why I was going to get some shiny stones in the abandoned mines and a few pearls from the lagoon. But I've been stuck here all day with the clay, and the abandoned mines are kinda scary. Do you think you could help me get some gifts for my friends? It'd make them happy and that'll make me happy. I'll make some jewelry for you too, for helping me.
Gladly, young lady. I'll see to it you get the best pearls and shiny stones. And I wouldn't mind some jewelry myself.
Yay! Thank you. You're really nice for a big, scary-looking person.
These pearls you talked about, where can I find them?
North of the clay pits, in the lagoon. They're just sitting there in the water, but there are some big sharks in there. Be careful.
Where are these abandoned mines with your shiny stones?
The mine is in the meadow, west of the temple.
I'll see what I can find. Where are all your friends?
They'll be coming soon, just a little longer.
Speak up, child. I can't hear you.
Never mind. I'll introduce you to them later.
Okay, that's all I need to know. I'll see you later.
I should be done here soon. Meet me at the cliff overlooking the lagoon, okay? I'll introduce you to my friends. Thanks, Misthios.
That's the lagoon with the pearls. Ah, the mines. That's where the shiny stones are. This is the lagoon the little girl mentioned. That's enough pearls?
Come on. Come on. Yeah!
The abandoned mines with the shiny stones. I've got the pearls and the shiny stones. I should return to the little girl.
Yeah! Yeah!
Death is coming for you! Hey! Get down from there!
The little girl and her friends. She got here sooner than I thought she would.
Misthios! You made it just in time! My friends have finally arrived!
I don't see anyone else here but us.
What? Silly Misthios. Can't you see them? They're right over there. The one on the left is Theo, and the one on the right is Erla.
They look friendly, but I don't think they really count as your friends.
What do you mean? They're my friends. I made them.
I know you made them, but
Mother told me to make friends, Misthios, and I did.
this isn't the way to make friends. Tell your mother that...
I can't! She's dead, Misthios. Mother is dead. She joined the pirates. Told me she'll bring back so much drachmi, we could swim in it. But one day, she came back, Misthios. Her favorite white robe was all red. And she told me to take care of myself and make more friends. But I've never had any friends. I didn't know what she meant. So I thought really, really hard and made my friends out of clay. Did I make a mistake? Mother won't be upset at me, right? I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
No, child, no. You did great. Your mother would be proud of you. Friends come in all shapes and sizes. I have an eagle, and he's a close friend of mine.
Wow, really? That's so cool.
Here you go. Your gifts for your friends as promised. Why don't you go put them on for them? I'm sure they'll like that.
Thank you, Misthios. You're the best. I'll go do that right now.
I'm sorry, child. I could not break your heart, even if it was good for you.
We ride! Yeah! Whoa! Yeah! Move!
Me too, Tobias. Okay, Tobias.
You must be the one Pericles sent.
I am. He said there is an ostracism vote, but didn't tell me what I'm here to do.
Of course he didn't. That's what I'm for.
If someone is exiled, can they return?
If they do, they'll be punished.
What does someone have to do to be ostracized?
Anyone seen as a threat to the city or the people is enough. And then it is up to the vote. Some have been ostracized for simply being more disliked than the person they're up against.
What's my role in this?
The votes have already been cast. We don't have long before they're counted. Take the ostraka in this bag and exchange them with the ones currently under guard.
You want me to rig the ostracism?
Pericles does. And he has his reasons, I'm sure. Bring me the bag you took from the room and I'll take care of the rest.
No one will see me go in or out. Stay here. Come on, come on. Goods from all over the Greek world. You wouldn't think the city was besieged by an army of Spartans. This area will be well defended.
There's something over there. Nothing going on here now.
was something here, I'm sure of it. Get some time off. Yeah? Drink myself silly. You talk a lot. You prefer plugging goats to a good, drunken situation.
Get to shelter! Over there! That's where the altar is! They're not here.
That should do it. I should let Pericles' contact know.
Bucarestones.
It's done.
You work quickly.
What are you going to do with them?
Dump them in a well. Ah, it looks like the official has arrived.
The votes have been tallied. Overwhelmingly, the people have decided that Anaxagoras should be ostracized from Athens!
Be slow to fall into friendship, but once you do, continue firm and constant. It will be more difficult for me now that Anaxagoras must leave Athens. We were quite close, although he and Pericles were much closer. It's strange, Pericles wasn't here today to defend him.
Would Pericles normally defend someone?
A good friend? Of course. Yet, Anaxagoras seems pleased with the result. This day has brought more questions than answers.
You said you were close.
He was like a mentor to me. Many of my best thoughts came to fruition through our conversations.
Who are you?
Ask anyone and they'll tell you Socrates. But a name gives you nothing. Our actions determine who we are, and every action has its pleasures and its price. With that said, then, who do you claim to be?
My name is Alexios.
And still, I don't feel I know you. Perhaps I can find out who you are a different way.
You want to know me?
Knowledge is the one good in this world. Surely you agree?
Of course. Knowledge drives everything I do.
Then we are the same in that way.
Knowledge of when to attack, what weapon to use, or when to use reason instead of violence.
We seem to put our love of knowledge into practice quite differently.
I use it how I need to.
You are clearly someone who would do whatever you feel is necessary. Perhaps for drachmi, or maybe to further a personal goal.
That describes a lot of people.
I suppose I'm curious why you did it. How could I not be when you're the reason my friend is being forced to leave the only home he's ever known?
I did what I was asked to do.
And your needs are greater than those of the man you helped ostracize. Still, you raise a fine point. Who is more responsible? Anaxagoras for getting himself mixed up in this? Or you, for simply sealing his fate?
Fine. I'm more responsible. But I did it because I have one concern. Myself.
Then I hope you also think about today. About Anaxagoras, about choice.
Socrates! There you are.
Here I am.
You're late. They're all waiting for you.
I wish to see Anaxagoras' fate, and so I have. Tell them I'm on my way. Well, it seemed our conversation is at its end. Although I hope it isn't the final one we have.
I wouldn't know. That's everything Pericles wanted. Time to return to him and find out what these Athenians know about my mother. Let's move! Off we go!
Alexios, it's you!
Phoebe!
You promised we'd see each other again, and now we have.
I also said stay out of trouble.
Which I have. Okay, almost out of trouble.
How did you even get here, Phoebe?
Well, I did make some drachmi working for Marcos.
So you paid someone to bring you to Athens?
Not exactly.
Phoebe...
I needed a drachmi for when I arrived. I couldn't use it all to leave, and I didn't want to wait any longer. So I sneaked on a ship. Don't worry, nobody saw.
I just can't believe you made it.
I don't remember much of Athens from when I was a baby. But every once in a while, something feels familiar. It's nice.
I can't believe you're here.
Me either. I can't believe we both made it to Athens. It's so much different from Kefalonia.
But what are you doing here?
I'm here to get you ready. I have to make sure you leave all your weapons and change into these clothes.
So, you somehow work here? For Pericles?
No, for Aspasia.
I don't understand why I have to change.
It's just what you do here. I felt weird at first, but you forget about it pretty fast.
And my weapons?
Don't worry, I'll take care of them. You don't want to scare people in there.
Well... How is it you're working for Aspasia?
Well, I did get into a little bit of trouble after I got to Athens. I may have been a leader of a small group of orphans that tried to cheat Aspasia. We didn't know it was her, though.
And you convinced her to hire you?
No, she asked me on her own.
That was lucky. I think I'm ready to go in.
You can't. Not like that, anyway. The Athenians like it best when you try to fit in. But don't worry, I have just the outfit for you.
I'll get changed. Promise you'll take care of my things.
Yep. Leave your weapons in the corner, and I'll come back when you're done.
I feel uncomfortable in this.
Now you look like everyone else.
You say that like it's a good thing.
It is. If you want them to take you seriously, this is the easiest way. Trust me.
Is that everything?
You're all ready to go in. Don't worry. You've done scarier things than this.
I'm struggling to think of any right now. Are you sure I can't keep just one weapon with me?
No weapons. Now hurry and go in. Oh, and don't leave without saying bye. You just got here. You can't leave already.
Here, Alexios. The mighty mercenary and traveler has finally made his grand entrance. Only slightly late, too.
Herodotos. Athenians have no problem letting me know when I'm not welcome. It's a relief to see your friendly face.
Don't let the company here tonight intimidate you.
I won't.
Pericles is no king. He needs these guests to love him so that the people love him. And they, in turn, need Pericles. You're no different from any of them.
Do you really think these people will help me?
They will if you get them to trust you. And you've wisely dressed for the occasion. Appearing trustworthy is the most important part of being trusted, after all. Now then, come, let me introduce you to everyone. They may not look it, but this group holds the way to the future on the tip of their opinionated tongues. Ah, Sophocles and Euripides, for example. Two of the most celebrated playwrights to date. No one can throw stones as far as they can. They appear to be locked in some kind of intellectual struggle, as is their way.
He's a writer of comedies, of all things. Comedies, Euripides.
I've heard of Sophocles. In my line of work, it pays to know who the richest and most famous men are.
Hermippos has also written his fair share of comedies. You should drink more. Lately, his attitudes have garnered him more notice than his works. However, the fellow beside him, Protagoras, is a sophist worthy of as much praise as the great Socrates himself.
Inviting Socrates seems like a good way to ruin everyone's night. I'm surprised they would let him in the door.
Oh, don't let Socrates get under your skin. At least he wore shoes for the occasion. And the poor thing gesticulating like an ape is Thrasymachus. If you listen closely, you'll notice he and Socrates are actually arguing the same points. But the wind from his wild gestures deafens him to critique.
That isn't at all what I mean.
Where is Pericles?
Oh, he never attends his own parties. Which reminds me, there's something I need to get his help with.
vile Socrates, always appearing where I least expect him. Warrior, protect me from his amorous gaze. Oh, Alcibiades, this is not a time for jealousy, but for love.
Let's not use Alcibiades as an example. Be good and don't drink too much. So, tell me, what does a Mystios like you think of a party like this?
This is going to be a long night. Parties should be about vomiting up blood, not vomiting up poetry. These people are so clean.
If these guests aren't to your own unique tastes, then just focus on why you came here in the first place.
Thank you, Herodotus.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Pericles is here somewhere and I need to prepare him. If he's alone, I'll tell him what your sister said.
Agreed. Pericles needs to know. I'll stay here and look for clues.
I hope they know something about your mother.
Me too.
I suppose you've come in here to mock me for my fight with Euripides.
I've seen lots of fights. That wasn't one.
I really made a fool of myself this time, didn't I? I'm Sophocles, though I'm sure you knew that. And you are?
I am looking for information that'll help me find someone. A Spartan woman.
A Spartan woman in Athens. Sounds intriguing. Though, if you expect me to notice someone other than myself, you expect too much. You could talk to Euripides. He's the second most worldly man here. That pediculous, xanthodontus exophthalmic Morosov. But he doesn't talk without a drink.
I have no idea what that meant.
No, you don't.
So, we get him drunk, and he talks. He sounds more Argive than Athenian.
Impressive, foreigner. Euripides is from Argos.
All right. If nothing else, this party could use the help.
You need to pick the right wine for this task. The kitchen should have what you need. Let me know when Euripides is done in, and I'll slip away unseen.
How do you know Pericles?
I believe you mean to ask me, how does Pericles know you? I'm the greatest dramatist in the land, mentor to Euripides, lover of Asclepios, father of theater, and so on, and so on.
I'm sure it's a real honor to have you hiding in his kitchen. You're awfully worked up over Euripides. You sure you're just friends?
I'm never just anything, foreigner. Though I confess, Euripides and I hold a bond deeper than brotherhood. Why he slams it with a banal young plaything, Aristophanes, I will never know.
I'll get the wine.
Wonderful. Now, if you want some friendly advice, Aristophanes cannot stand sweet wine. I've seen what it can do to him. Absolutely, horrifyingly delightful.
It wouldn't be a party without someone losing their stomach. I'll let you know if your plan worked.
Save for that arrogant playwright. I don't see many distinguished guests in here. Can I help you with something?
I'm here for your sweet wine.
Yes, take it. But get out of my kitchen. I'm very busy, you know.
How's Euripides? Drunk, I hope.
I'll get the wine.
Wonderful. Now, if you want some friendly advice, Aristophanes cannot stand sweet wine. I've seen what it can do to him. Absolutely, horrifyingly delightful.
It wouldn't be a party without someone losing their stomach. I'll let you know if your plan worked.
A new face in Pericles' abode! Ha! That in itself is a remarkable thing. You must have seen me doing my impression of Cleon. I call it the Orange Ape. Tell me, what does it think?
I am called many things. It isn't one of them.
What do you call yourself then? Creature of many names?
Alexios.
I wouldn't peg you as an Alexios, but never mind. I'm Aristophanes, and this man is Euripides. Oh, go on. Introduce yourself.
I'm Euripides.
For a playwright, you're not much for words.
Good men lead quiet lives, as old Euripides likes to say. Don't you, Euripides?
When I need to relax, I start to fight. For you, though...
Quickly! Bring him some wine so that he might say something clever.
After my argument with Sophocles, I think I'd rather keep my head clear.
I'm only here because I'm searching for someone.
And yet it gave us the distinct impression it was here to fill our wine. Let's focus on that first, shall we?
You and Aristophanes could both use a drink. Let's play a game.
A competition?
Ah, wonderful idea. Euripides seems quiet, but he never turns down a challenge.
Well, if you brought us some wine, I wouldn't be opposed to showing this young one how we Argives drink.
Why don't you just apologize to Sophocles?
It's he who should apologize to you.
Sophocles is a friend, and one good friend is worth an entire family. He just needs time to recover from his outburst.
Pericles has invited all of you here for some reason.
Either we dine here and praise Pericles, or we dine with Cleon. But Cleon has all the charm of a typical politician. A horrible voice, bad breeding, and vulgar manners.
Let's conjure Dionysos, shall we?
This is pure swill.
Amateur. In my day, this would be considered nectar of the gods. Another round!
Ready for more?
I can hardly stomach this pig's piss.
I could outdrink both of you with one hand. Let's have some more!
You ready for another?
This wine is terrible.
You, I like you. Who brought you here?
I brought myself. I'm on the trail of a woman who fled Sparta a long time ago.
Fled? Why?
She lost 2 children. She had no choice.
She fled to heal a broken heart. Euripides, write her into a play.
I've heard Spartan mothers go to a sanctuary in Argolis to beg Asclepios for his divine pity. I should know, it's my home.
After what she went through, I'm not sure she would trust priests.
Oh, then she sought my friend, Hippocrates. He's a physician, best of the best. He still keeps his office in Argos. If she went to him for help, there's no doubt he'd have given it.
I love getting drunk and singing. Come back if you want to sing with me.
I'll think about it. Hippocrates in Argos. Here I come.
How's Euripides? Drunk, I hope.
You can stop hiding in here. Euripides won't notice you coming out. He won't notice anything.
Hiding? Heed this. War has come to Athens. First they take our homes, then they take our heads. I intend to be found with at least my dignity intact. Or what's left of it anyway. If you see Pericles, tell him I said thank you for another colorful evening.
Someone's being hurt. Open this door, or I'll kick it in!
Don't mind her. She likes to watch. Look at you. Such authority. Such aggression. I can see why Pericles has taken such an interest in you. Did you come to join us?
It sounded like someone was in pain.
Well, it can sometimes be hard to distinguish between sounds of pleasure and pain. Had I known you were going to knock, I would have left my door wide open for you.
I only came to this symposium to find someone.
Sounds like we can help each other then, doesn't it? You fetch us a bit of oil, I help you find who you're looking for. Maybe they're in here.
She's not in there.
I think I'll check all the same.
I come bearing gifts.
We're saved! Today, these women grieved for their sons, and these men worked the wall. But tonight, we forget all of that. Let's have some fun! What do you say? Care to join us?
Now it's time for you to help me, Ali. I'm looking for someone.
All business right until the end. I like that.
Focus. I'm looking for a woman who fled Sparta a long, long time ago.
Fled Sparta? No one flees Sparta. But let's pretend she did. If she were stupid, she'd be dead. If she were smart, she'd do what Aspasia did. She'd earn her independence. The smartest and most resourceful women I've ever met have been in Corinthia.
Pietera? I've heard they play some sort of role in Corinth, but I assumed it was the same as any other city.
Oh, no. These women are unlike any other you'll meet. A force, and the only ones there with any smarts. Ali! Come back inside! Ooh, the celebration continues. When you reach Corinth, find Anthusa. No one goes in or out of the city without her knowing. Until we meet again, warrior.
Anthusa in Corinth. It's not much, but it's a start.
If it isn't the one who agrees that knowledge is most important.
I think we agreed our use of that knowledge couldn't be more different.
You remember. Perhaps our conversation can continue.
You really intend to use this young destruction to avoid the point being argued?
If you've been arguing this long and you haven't agreed yet, just give up.
We're discussing the nature of rulers. Where better to do so than here? I'll ask you the same question I asked Thrasymachos. Would you agree that the act of ruling is an art?
It is an art, as all worthy undertakings are. That is not up for argument.
Yet, medicine is for the betterment of the patient, and not the physician. Carpentry improves the building, not the builder. Then, is the art of ruling not for the betterment of the ruled rather than the ruler?
Don't be absurd!
I've seen enough of the world to know that there are no just rulers. Even Pericles is self-serving.
Is a Spartan general who brings order to his troops, thereby saving his own life, self-serving? I'm not sure that's the case.
Ruling a city and fighting in battle are different things.
By practicing the art of war, doesn't the general guarantee some of his troops a ferry ride to Hades, when a swift retreat would save all their lives?
You just said a general isn't self-serving when he brings order to his troops. Then you said he is self-serving because retreating would save the lives of his men. What are you trying to say?
I never tried to say anything.
But you just said those things.
I said the words, but I didn't say anything at all. I only attempted to gain your view on the matter.
You're wasting your time. Aspasia.
I couldn't help but notice your talent for debate. Well done.
Socrates is an interesting character.
Ah, Phoebe. Pericles has retired to the balcony already, has he? His ability to sneak off and sulk is second to none.
I can go get him, and Alexios can help. Everyone listens when he talks.
That'll be fine. Run along. Alexios will be right behind you. Now, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aspasia. I had to go to great lengths to cover up your work in Megaris.
Your spies have been watching me. I knew you people couldn't be trusted.
We do what we must to survive, and there's no shame in that. It's how you got here, how I got here. The clothes, they fit you well, I trust.
I'd be more comfortable in these clothes if I had a blade in my hand.
You never really get used to them. It seems we have the attention of the entire room without a single eye being fixed on us. If you'd like to talk, do it now, and do it discreetly.
I've been searching for a woman named Myrine, my mother. I think she may be in danger, and my search brought me here.
What clues do you have to her whereabouts?
A physician named Hippocrates may have seen her in Argos.
He's a good man. If you find a woman named Agathi there, do let her know Aspasia sends her regards. What else?
Alcibiades gave me the name of a woman in Corinth.
I'm sure he did. My dear friend, Anthusa, is the only one I know who's enjoyed a life in Corinth through legitimate means. Mostly legitimate, anyway.
That's all I have.
There is another option. In a former life, when I needed something done or someone found, I contacted a friend. An admiral of a sort.
What's his name?
Her name is Xenia. When we last spoke, she was in chaos. A word of caution. When you go to her, be on your guard. Sea life makes a monster out of most people.
Thank you, Aspasia.
When you're done, return here. Together, we will find who you're looking for. Now do me a favor and get Pericles to come down here and greet his guests.
Alexios!
I didn't send for you. No matter how you've dressed for my party, Phoebe shouldn't have let you in.
Aspasia told me to come find you. She wants you to come down to the party.
She says I don't interact with our guests enough. But these parties aren't for me. Technically, you're a guest. If you join Herodotus and me, that should be enough for her, don't you think?
You really don't want to go downstairs, do you?
When your days are spent speaking in front of crowds, you begin to crave these moments of silence.
Or as silent as I let it be, at least.
Phidias was awaiting trial, but you had me get him out of Athens. I figured you, of all people, would want to follow the law.
Phidias is a very dear friend. I didn't want to risk him being found guilty. And of course, there were other threats.
So you knew?
I know he's delusional, but one day when you have a friend you'd do anything for, you'll understand.
I don't understand why you had Anaxagoras ostracized. Socrates said he was your friend.
I won't risk the lives of those close to me if there's something I can do about it.
So you did this to protect him?
Anaxagoras understood my fears. 10 years may be a long time, but at least he'll be safe.
Why send Metiochos to the fishing district if it's dangerous?
I would never have sent him into danger willingly.
It seems you have many loyal friends.
My people are important to me.
Your life is in danger.
Yes, Herodotus was saying. This cult doesn't worry me. I have my life threatened by far worse people every day. My true concern is Athens. I fear for her future.
The Spartans aren't your real concern, Pericles. The cult is coming, and they're bringing their strongest weapon.
Listen to him, Pericles.
The Spartans are immediate. A cult's threat is ambiguous.
I'm related to one of the cult members, and I believe her when she says they're coming after you.
Sound counsel to consider. I'll be sure to let my men know, regardless.
Aspasia sent me to see what's taking you so long.
Tell Aspasia I'll be right there. I suppose this is where our conversation ends. Thank you again for helping me. I hope my guests are able to help you in your search.
Time will tell.
You look tired.
Only of conversation. I think that's the most talking I've ever done.
See? You didn't need the weapon after all. Are you leaving?
I've had enough Athenian hospitality to last me a lifetime.
You get used to it. It's nice. What are you going to do now?
There's a woman in Corinth I'd like to talk to.
I've heard about that place from Alcibiades. He says you don't go there to talk.
Alcibiades says a lot of things.
He sure does. Before you go, I heard something from Aspasia about Kefalonia.
What is it?
She said there was some sort of plague. You don't think... My friend, the blood fever.
Don't think like that. Whatever happened on Kefalonia isn't our fault. I'll go myself and find out if this plague even happened, okay?
Okay, thanks. I knew I could count on you.
Not going to beg to come along this time?
Nope. I'm happy here. And this isn't Kefalonia. That means you'll be back.
That's very true.
Plus, I really like working for Aspasia. She says she has a mission for me.
I'll see you soon, Phoebe.
Bye, Alexios!
Alcibiades said the Etera here could help me find my mother. I should look around for Anthusa's whereabouts.
Are you Anthusa?
Me? Anthusa? I could be anyone for you, Lamb. I charge less than the Etera. But do I ever know my way around a haybed?
So her name means something to you.
Anthusa? She's been around forever, but I never met her. I know the Etera all work as one, on equal footing. But Anthusa's special. She talks, they listen.
I haven't met any Hetera yet.
Don't believe all you hear. They sell what a lot of us sell in Corinth. But for them, it's not just about the flesh. They're merchants of a sort, streetwise. Can talk as nice as they look.
Sounds like a good trade to work in. You don't want to be an hetera?
Not in my prime anymore, am I, Misthios? By the time I study what they did, I'll be serving clients on my deathbed.
If the hetera aren't here, where are they?
Their swords are too high and mighty to be down here in the dirt with us. You want them, you'll find them up on the hill. The Acrocorinth. By the temple, keeping Aphrodite's worshippers satisfied.
A temple on top of the Acrocorinth. That's what I'm looking for. Who do they think they are? I need to stop them.
Something to hurt.
Behind you, Misthios!
Who are they? And why were they looking for the Hetera?
Yeah! They think this temple is dedicated to them, the brutes.
The thieves are here, and the Hetera aren't.
There's no avoiding the monger's men in Corinth.
I'll keep my guard up.
He craves money, Misthios.
Not only that, but power. Once he smells it on you, you're a gunner.
So the monger is a Corinthian criminal?
Master of the underground markets. He rules with one hand open for money and the other clenched around a weapon.
A drachmi and blood-hungry monster's what he is.
So he's hunting the Hetera? Huh. For money?
Exactly. Since the Hetera bring in so much drachmi, he wants everything they control.
The thieves are better off robbing them than us.
If you know of the Hetera, then you know of Anthusa. I'm looking for her.
They say she's everywhere, though I've never seen her. But the Edera see everything.
I've seen them gather by the spring of Pyrene, down the mountain. They meet clients there and then take them elsewhere in secret.
Good. Maybe pray to Aphrodite from home next time. Nice view.
It just got a lot nicer. I was hoping to see you again.
Alcibiades, what are you doing outside of Athens?
Someone like me is always on the move. I've docked my ship in every port.
I'm sure you have.
If you're here for more than the view, I have a task for you. It is crucial this package gets to its proper recipient. It's not for me, but a man named Theodoros.
I'll help, but it's only that little box.
One should never judge something by its size, you know. A small thing may very well make a huge impact.
You said this package isn't from you. Why do you have it then?
It simply came into my hands, that's all. Theodoros asked for my help, like I'm asking for yours now.
Why can't this Theodoros deliver it himself?
You're a curious one, aren't you? Some questions don't have answers. Sometimes things just are.
You've traveled a lot. Where is your favorite place to go?
Oh, a personal question. Interesting. The world is filled with beautiful places. To pick my favorite would be like picking my favorite Etera. I could do it, but the answer changes based on my mood.
All right. Who am I giving the package to?
There's a man named Vardas near the Corinthian military fort. He's one of their stronger assets.
And I just tell him it's from you.
No, from Theodoros. Don't forget, Theodoros.
Won't be, I'm sure of it. Ah, so Alexios has finally found us.
You know me?
And you know her. This is Anthusa. We saw you help the worshippers at the temple of Aphrodite. You've proven yourself a friend.
Hear that, Ikaros? Her sight's as good as yours.
Someone also spoke very highly of you.
Surprise!
Phoebe?
Aspasia sent me. I work for her now, remember?
But why here? Corinth isn't safe.
I had to tell Anthusa you were coming. Aspasia taught me a new word, emissary. That's me.
And now Alexios and I have met.
See? This is easy. And now I can help you.
I guess that'll be all right. Who knows what I'll get into.
Yes!
Just make sure you're extra careful.
We need to move inside, Alexios. We're not the only ones watching. Come with me, and we'll talk.
Can I come?
As long as you're quiet.
To what do I owe your visit?
Alcibiades told me about you.
Did he? Go on.
I'm looking for a woman from Sparta. A runaway. Long ago. She may have gone by the name of Myrine.
Who's that?
She's my mother.
Your mother? You don't have a mother. Marcos told me he raised you.
What did I tell you about talking?
I see. There will be time to respond to your question, but that time isn't now.
As long as you tell me what you know, sooner or later.
You'll have to trust me. You don't get to where I stand without credibility. My word is yours.
And you can always trust Alexios.
Why don't you go play, Phoebe? Let me and Anthusa talk.
If you say so.
I propose a trade. Help me. Help us get stronger. Strong enough to rid Corinth of the Monger permanently. A simple transaction, I assure you.
You have a deal.
A wise decision, dear Misthios.
I haven't made it this far being a fool. I know when to take a chance.
Then we're in business. Now, you've heard of the Monger?
From what the worshippers say, he's someone I should watch out for.
They're right. I'm sure his victims wish they'd been more vigilant. My eyes are wide open.
Then you've held your ground well. You're not dead.
Not yet, anyway. But he's employed enough thugs to amass a small army. Now they're attacking people in the street, us included.
He's been killing Hetera.
Killing? We're smarter than that. But action must be taken before it goes that far. I'm not the only one who needs help. My girls, Damalis and Irina, are suffering too.
More Monger trouble.
I wouldn't doubt it. Work against their aggressors, and then it will be his turn to suffer. You'll find Damalis here at the spring, but Irina has gone to Bellerophon's garden.
What's wrong with Irina?
She's looking for Cleo, another Hetera, who's gone missing. I've been too distracted to help in the search.
Has Damalis told you what's wrong?
She hasn't told me much, but I know these girls as well as I know myself. Something's not right.
I'll see what I can do for them.
Good. The Monger feeds his thugs. With a drachmi, he makes smuggling. Weapons, mostly, which is all the more lucrative now that he has a war to supply.
So, if someone interrupts the Monger's supply, his men go hungry.
Exactly. Go to his warehouse in the port of Lecheo and burn his cargo, all of it. We'll let chaos take care of the rest.
Why rob people who can't put two drachmi together if he has a business? It's illegitimate, but gets him rich.
Even the smuggling is a front. He steals slaves, innocents, who shouldn't be harmed, but his thugs can burn.
Seems to me that burning his biggest source of income is asking for trouble.
I want to put the new muscle I've acquired on show. Plus, violence is the only language he understands.
I know many people who speak that language. Then the warehouse will be cinders.
So you're here to help us, Misthios? You don't look like a monger spy.
I'm more the in-your-face type. You have a monger problem, Damalis?
I might. One of my regulars has changed. He was a decent man once, but now he's gone bad.
Corinth seems to have a shortage of decent people.
I need someone with muscle to figure out what's behind the change. Why he's different.
He's gotten you scared.
He asks me questions I don't know the answers to about our drachmi, where we keep money, what Anthusa invests in, as though we're Athenian aristocrats.
Can't Anthusa intervene?
I'm not naive. I won't expose the others to this, so he can go after them next.
He might anyway. Sounds like he needs answers.
Who was he before all this?
Obsessive, but never threatening. He didn't stand out in symposiums until he had his drachmi act for him.
Well, something's sure giving him courage now.
I'll see what he has to say for himself.
If he's not lurking around here, he'll be at his house. I want this to end today.
It will. People tend to show their true selves to my spear, whether they like it or not.
Listen up. They could be anywhere. What do you see?
Nothing yet.
Don't relax just yet.
Good.
Get them! They're getting away!
The fate of all would-be heroes.
Careful. Don't want to be caught here.
You! Don't move! Hey! I need to find who's doing that.
my toes and ready if they return.
I'll catch you! Ha! He's here! Anyone see them?
Nothing. Keep it.
Oh, they go! They go!
Going down!
You die!
He's mine! We'll find you, sir.
They'll keep a sharp watch here.
Someone's here! Hey!
What are you
It's time to light the signal! I will tear you limb from limb! I like the bracelet! Victory! Now! Stop running, You're simply delaying this.
You are the Mystios I sent for. What do you want?
This is for you.
Give it here. Is this some kind of joke? This is a cast of someone's dick. What's this engraving? This is for your wife, Thalia, for when she starts to miss me. Tell me now, who sent this?
Do you know a man named Theodoros?
Theodoros? He'll pay for this with his life. I'll destroy his men. I'll destroy his ship. He'll regret ever touching Thalia.
I know you.
I should try to stay out of sight.
I was just starting to miss you. I hope you delivered the, package?
Vardas threatened to kill the Odoros when I told him. I also wasn't expecting the package to be, well, that.
It was a nice surprise, wasn't it? I can make another one for you too, if you'd like.
Another one? You...
It was mine, yes. It looked good, didn't it? I needed to get the Odoros out of the way, and now he will be. I impress myself sometimes.
Whatever you say.
Why don't we let our bodies do the talking? Surely you had thoughts of it as well when you saw the cast of me?
Here, before the gods.
Let's make an offering.
I'm not interested.
Oh, a shame. Aphrodite would have loved it. Maybe another time.
Πού καλυθές τούτο εστί?
Ολέθριον ήμαν.
Anything you need help with today?
Mercenary, I've heard you've had dealings with Anthusa. Tell me, how do you think she'd feel about a man trying to control her personal life?
I can scarcely imagine the man who'd try.
Oh, he exists, all right. A slimy politician is trying to stop me from seeing Anthusa. He's threatened by me.
Why would he be threatened by you?
Well, I'm not exactly her client. She lets me see her free of charge. I compose the most lovely poems about her. She's a perfect muse.
No wonder the politician is jealous.
This pig is trying to run me out of town for it. He's even threatened to put a bounty on me.
And you want me to slay him?
Exactly. He must be gutted.
I'm in.
By Apollo, thank you.
You can leave everything to me.
There's a thief here, and Father.
Better collect my drachmi.
You again. Have you killed him?
Your man is dead.
So you are as brave as you look. Please, take this as thanks.
I have a good crew, but we're missing someone with your talents. I want you on board with us. What do you say?
I appreciate the offer, mercenary, but my life is here, not on the open sea.
You're always welcome aboard if you change your mind.
By Aphrodite. Cleo better get back here soon.
Why call on the gods when you have one of their messengers at your service?
How did you know I needed help?
Anthusa told me you could use a hand.
Cleo, one of our girls, didn't meet me for prayer this morning. She wasn't at home either. I'd go investigate, but I'm not sure what I could do on my own.
She might have been taken.
I asked around. One of our clients said he saw Cleo brought aboard the ship. The men were armed, so there was nothing he could do. I'd pay a lot of drachmi to get her back.
Armed? Take me to the ship. We'll get Cleo back.
Follow me.
Who do you think took her?
Wouldn't be the first time the Monger's men came after one of us.
Ella.
None of us have ever disappeared like this before. Some are worried they'll be taken next. Corinth may have a bad reputation, but it wasn't always that way. He used to be safe.
Until the Monger.
We're not sure why he came here, but Corinth is worse off because of him.
Ella!
There. That's the boat our client described. Please, get her back safely.
I posted the quest on the ship's board. I have a good feeling about this one. Welcome back. There's a message for you on the board. Came from the Delos Islands. One of the cultists is there, Alexios. His name is Bernardis.
You reading my messages, Barnabas?
I may have taken a peek. Did you find what you were looking for in Athens?
A few clues, but this won't be easy.
Well, it's a good start. All we can do now is trust the path the gods have laid out for us.
I'm not the only one looking for my mother. That wanted Nicolaus dead, they're also on my trail.
Ah, they're no match for you.
You got that right. Oars at the ready! Best speed now! Get your weapons ready!
Commander, we need to brace, but get out of the way!
Speed up! Let's move it! Let's go! Drop the sail!
Commander! We live to sail another day!
Sails up!
Left the helm!
There's much to do, and many numbers.
Forward! We're at full speed!
We can't go any faster!
Go!
We are at full speed, Commander!
Rowers, go! Keep up the speed!
We're going as fast as we can!
Sail! Get the oars out!
For you, Commander!
Faster! Come on!
Salvage nearby! Commander away! Everyone at ease! for you, Commander.
Faster! Sails, now! Ready the oars! Archers! Get ready to fire! Burn them down! Increase speed! Whoa! Feel that wind! Let's move! Onward! Ramming speed! Grace! Lower sail!
Commander, we need to stay out of their path!
Here they come!
They are wearing away at our defenses!
Fast as we can! Get ready!
I'm seeing some scoring on the hull!
Sails down!
Watch out! They are trying to hit us!
Rowers in position!
More than us!
Increase!
Commander, we can't get... Commander on board!
Go! Full power!
See the one I like! You know, that one!
Get the oars ready!
The tank. Good to have you back, Commander.
I'm on tight!
We need to let the rowers catch their breath.
Raise the sail!
Left the helm! What the hell?